Good morning. I greet everyone, especially my dear students, respectable colleagues, and the friendly followers of the ADAUTV channel. Nice to meet you. Top of the morning, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to introduce myself for you. I am Hasanova Hanım. I am working as assistant teacher in the Department of Agrobusiness and Management. I usually explain or teach about the subject of management, innovation of management, cooperative of management, strategy of management, management of human resources, and so on. But today, I'm gonna tell you about the subject of management and our topic dedicated to the management and the functions of management. Okay, let's start our lectures. As you know, apparently our lectures usually consist of some major parts. References parts, lecture outlines parts, explanation parts, question parts, and so on. But today, I firstly introduce you about our references. Let's start acquainted our references parts. Firstly, introduce you about Kalam Paul's management concepts and organization's behavior. This book is so important for our lectures because we get some information related to our lectures and I advise for my students about these books or literature. Second one, I can say about Richard Duff's management books, and these so important books for everyone. And next one, Michael Albert's Franklin Kedure management books. Next one, Stephen Roberts Mary Coulter's management books, and finally I can say about internal resources and foreign countries articles and other literature. It doesn't matter for you where you read it, and finally in conclusion you must learn about our lectures. Next page our described lecture outlines, and as you see, our lecture outlines consist of 5 major questions. First, I will explain you about what is the management. Second one, I will explain you what are the functions of management. And next one, how to explain the organizations. After that, I will explain you which resources of organization are there. And finally, I will explain you what's the 5 M's in the management STEM. Okay, let's start our lectures. And I first explain you about first questions. What is the management? And why we learn about management, and why we learn about management functions, why this management so important for other STEMs. Firstly, I will explain you about our management definitions. What is the management? Management is a process, activity, movement of planning, leading, motivating, staffing, directing, controlling the human resources, financial, physical, and information resources of an organization to reach or to achieve, to attain of organization's goals through people with effectively and efficiently. And if we can say about definitions of management in other ways, example, according to Taylor's or according to Henry Fayol's, we can say about definitions according to Taylor, management is an art of knowing what is to be done and think that it is done in the best possible manner. I consider you know about Taylor. Taylor, our scientist and famous scientist, and he wrote some theory, some principles of management, and so on. And that's why these persons and famous persons in the management STEM. If we can say about definition of management according to Henry Fayol, and I consider you know about Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol was called the father of management because he first wrote this schematic theory of management. Not only schematic theory, but also we can say about the functions of management, the principles of management, the style of management, and so on. And these sections of management usually written by the Henry Fayol. So Henry Fayol was called the father of management. If we can say about definitions of management according to Henry Fayol, we can get management is to forecast, to plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, to control activities of others, and so on. As I mentioned before about definitions of management in general forms, and I can explain again for you. And management is a process of planning, leading, motivating, controlling the human resources, financial, physical, and I can say about this it is goals and this to reach its goals with effectively and efficiently. And these definitions hold two important ideas. One of them, to attainment of organization goals with effectively and efficiently. Effectively, efficiently concept is so important in the management system because we usually learn lots of things, informations or parts or sections related to our lectures and according to effective and efficiently. And the second one we can say about the four functions of planning, leading, controlling, and our organizing functions. Okay, let's start our effectively and efficiently concepts. And this concept, yes, of course, both of them are adverb. At first glance, this concept sounds the same, but we must distinguish this concept from each other because this concept, effective and efficient, has specific and peculiar features or characteristics from each other. So we must distinguish this concept. We must compare this concept from each other. What is the effective? What's the efficient? Let's get acquainted with this effective concept, this efficiently notion. Effective means adequate to accomplish a purpose, achievement, or aims, objectives, and so on. At the same time, we can say about producing the intended or expected results. Example can say about getting things done, getting things right, getting right things, and so on. And we have some questions to understand in deeply about this concept. What do you learn? How much have you learned? And so on. This relates to our effectively concepts. And if example, how can I say? Can say about I have learned a book for 2 days. A book our effective sides. Okay, and we must distinguish this concept from each other. If we can say about efficiently, efficiently is of course also adverb, and we must distinguish, yes, of course, also efficient concepts and other effective sides. And this usually getting things done in quickly, getting things done. Example, a little resources. Example, and we can say about this and performing or functioning the best possible manner with the least waste of effort and time or attempt and so on. And we have some questions related to our efficiency side. How much does it take? Example,